Okay, today we're doing infinite series, and there are three ways a series can behave. Remember, a series is when you add up the terms of a sequence. It can increase without limit. The sum just keeps getting bigger and bigger every time you add on a new term. And this is what you would like your paycheck to be sometimes in life. You just want to get more and more and more and more and get richer and richer and richer. You can decrease without limit. Every time you add on the next term, you get smaller and smaller. Much like what the crisis of the country is right now, debt. We just get bigger, we owe more and more debt. And the third thing that can happen is we can actually approach a certain number. In other words, no matter what the next number of the sequence series is, it's not going to get us anywhere bigger or smaller. In fact, it's just going to get us closer to one number. And that's what we call approaching a limit.
Instance, find the limit of this equation.
Calling somebody else fat won't make you any skinnier. Calling someone stupid doesn't make you any smarter. And ruining Regina George's life definitely didn't make me any happier. All you can do in life is try to solve the problem in front of you.
The limit is -1.
Oh, crap. I lost.
That answer is incorrect. Now we are in a sudden death. If Miss Heron can answer this problem correctly, we have a winner.
Limits. Why couldn't I remember anything about limits? Limits. That was the week Aaron got his haircut. Oh, God, he looks so cute. Okay, focus, Katie. What was on the board behind Aaron's head? If the limit never approaches anything, the limit does not exist. The limit does not exist!
Our new state champions, the North Shore Mathletes.
Yay! And now we get to learn what that whole phrase, the limit does not exist, means. Right? It increases without limit. The sum just keeps getting bigger and bigger every time you add on the next term. Hit it, Lindsay!
If the limit never approaches anything, the limit does not exist.
That's right. So here the limit does not exist. Decreases without limit. The sum just keeps getting smaller and smaller every time you add on the next term.
The limit does not exist!
That's right. But we're going to go with what the other girls said. She said the limit was -1. In other words, whatever curve was under the back of that cute kid's head, or whatever his name was, she said it got close to -1. Well, we're going to find out how terms of a sequence, when added together, approach a limit. That means we get really, really close to it, but we never actually make it there. Okay, let's look at this series right here, 2, 4, 6, 8. If we were to add the terms up, the sum just keeps getting bigger and bigger. See? If we add the first two numbers, 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 plus 4 plus 6 equals 12. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus the next term of 8 would get us 20. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 would get us 30, etc., etc. So right here, Lindsay would exclaim, the limit does not exist, because the numbers of the sum keep getting bigger and bigger. Let's look at this one. Here I see, how did I get from -3 to -9? I multiplied by 3 each time. I multiplied by 3. So this is a geometric sequence, and it's a series now that I have plus signs in the middle of it. So let's look at that a little closer. Let's start adding them up. -3 plus -9 is -12. Okay, now I'm going to add on -27 and get -39. Now I'm going to add on -81 and get -120. I'm going to have to hear it from Lindsay one more time. The limit does not exist. So we have three things here. An infinite arithmetic series has no limit. In other words, as soon as you find out that a sequence is arithmetic, when you do its series, You're just going to keep adding and 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 get nowhere. So any arithmetic series has no limit. A geometric series could or could not have a limit depending on what the R value is. If the absolute R value is greater than 1, there's going to be no limit. But if the absolute R value is less than 1, there is going to be a limit. And once again, this is the game you always played with your brother or sister when you were in a car to annoy them. I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you. You tried to get your finger as close as possible to their face, but without actually touching it. There, the limit does not exist. But in your case, it did when Mom and Dad turned around and whacked you. Alright, so example 3. We're going to look at some things here, and we're going to try and figure out, does the limit exist, or does it not exist? 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, it's arithmetic because I'm adding on 2 every single time. No arithmetic series ever has a limit. Remember? That was the highlight from the last page. Therefore, the sum increases without limit. The limit does not exist. Let's look at this one. Is it arithmetic or geometric? It's geometric because I multiplied by 2 to get the next term. It's an infinite geometric series, but it has no limit because the R value is greater than 1. I'm doubling my money every single time, so to speak. Okay, obviously the last one's going to be finally one where there is a limit. Now look at this. What did I do to 4 to get to 4/3? It's geometric. I multiplied by 1/3 every single time. An infinite geometric series that has a finite limit when the R factor, absolute value of it, is less than 1. Right, here it's 1/3. 1/3 is less than 1. So, what is this limit? We can do this a couple of ways. To our new formula. This is if you can recognize that a limit is existing. This is your formula to find what that limit is. So going back to our previous problem, we knew the first value, g sub 1, the first term, was 4. We knew the R was 1/3. Doing the math, we get 6. Okay, what does that mean? Let's go to our calculator right here. Alright, I'm going to end this PowerPoint, and I'm going to go here to the smartboard. So I come back here. Our terms were 4, 4/3, 4/9, 4/27. And now my series told me to add them up. Well, I'm going to come turn on my calculator here, and I'm going to do of my sequence, and now I have to figure out my sequence's algebraic equation. Well, I know for geometric, to find any term of a geometric series or sequence, I take the first term and multiply it by r to the n minus 1. Alright, to find any term, my first term is 4, my r factor was 1/3, and to the n minus 1. Okay, so that's the equation I'm going to put in. So over here, 4 times 1/3 to the x minus 1, comma, x is my variable, comma, I want to start adding at my first term, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to add the first 5 terms You see what my answer is? Okay. I'm going to add the first 10 terms. See what my answer is? So I'm going to write these numbers down. 5.9753, 5.9998. I'm going to re-grab that again. Now I'm going to add on the first 20 terms. Wow, that's even better. And I think you get it. What number is the limit here? So if we were in that mathlete and this was our question, we would immediately yell out that the limit is 6. It seems that we're getting closer and closer to the number 6, but we're never going to go over it. So I'm going to do one more, and this time I'm going to add on the first 50 terms together and see what I get. Now the calculator takes a little longer to think this through. There it is, 6. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye.